Man United 0, Man City 3. Demolition derby. Demolition derby. You know what? You wanna look. I'm not mad at the fact that we lost to City because, yeah, of course I'm gonna give it and say 2-1, and but deep down I knew we'd lose this game. But it's the manner. It's the manner of which you lose. It's the manner of the lack of competing. It's the lack of identity in the team. It's the lack of idea. The players look clueless. The manager looks clueless. The decisions Eric's making, I don't understand. He's getting harder and harder to back the decisions that he's making because they just aren't working. You know, players look void of all confidence, and it shows that when we're scraping through these last-minute wins, of course we're going to be jubilant in them situations, but we know that it's just not sustainable. There has to become a point where the finger gets pointed in the right directions. And look, there's so much wrong at Man United, so much wrong. You know, you sack Eric Ten Hag today, would be in the same position in a few games' time with a new manager when he gets all his players out, all in the new batch of players in, all them things there. I'm not suggesting that we need to sack Eric Ten Hag right now, but he needs to be held accountable for some of the decisions he's making. If it's true that we started that team today because it was tactical, then it's all on him. It's all on him. And if you were lying with the injuries because you wanted to protect the players, then you have to take the heat because you said that that's tactical. And tactically today, we were piss poor. There was a little 15, 20-minute period where there were some transitions and we were wasteful, which is what we've always been this season, completely wasteful. But other than that, we didn't lay a glove on City. If it wasn't for Onana making big saves as well, credit to him, it would have been a lot worse. And yeah, it was a soft penalty, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. Other than that, Man United didn't lay a glove on Manchester City, and that is the biggest thing I can't live with. Man City are a way better team than us. Way better team than us. But if you're not going to have these new principles and playing out from the back and have this Ten Hag ball and this identity and this passing out from the back, if you're not going to have that, be compact. Be brave. Be strong. Be committed. I'm not seeing any of it. The signings that he's made, Anthony, big money signing, he ain't starting in these type of games. You brought in Mason Mount, 65 million, slapped the number 7 shirt on him. He ain't playing in these big games. Amrabat, we've waited all the way to the end of the window to try and get him. You're taking him off at half time. Nothing that Ten Hag has made happen is working. Højlund, he's supposed to be our guy, you're taking him off. Rashford, you've given him a new deal, you're saying he's the main guy, you're taking him off and you're leaving him on too long. Bruno, you've given him the captaincy, he's absolutely stinking the joint out, he's staying on 90 minutes, he's starting every single game. The decisions aren't making sense. The decisions aren't making sense. And look, of course we have to be patient, but we also have to call out what we're seeing. I'm not seeing any progression. Before we kick a ball, before every single game, I have no idea how Man United are going to play. No idea what we're going to do, how we're going to set up, who's going to play. Injuries, of course, is an issue. Of course, injuries is an issue. When you play without Luke Shaw, when you play without Varane, which today he said it was tactical, but he didn't play. When you play without Wan-Bissaka, who's our starting right back, but Dallow's not too much far behind that. You know, okay, there's going to be issues, but not this many issues. Not this many issues. This squad is still better than the Gary O'Neill's Wolves. This squad is still better than Paul Heckingbottom's Sheffield United, who gave Manchester City a game right up into the last minute. This squad, you would want to argue that it's better. Actually, you know what? You would want to argue it's better than Spurs, is it? You know, Spurs managed to win in the last minute against Sheffield United. But look, Sheffield United, again, against Spurs, they put up a fight to the last 9 minutes. You know, our squads are better than these teams. But look at the output. Look what we're seeing. The output is awful. And Eric Ten Hag will die on that sword if he keeps having favourites, if he keeps having players that are immune to criticism, players that are immune for being dropped. He will die on this sword. I'm not saying drop everybody. I'm not saying sell everybody. But right now, Ten Hag has to get real or he will get sacked. He will. He will. And look, I don't want to be too emotional after the game because you need to calm down and you need to take everything into perspective. And are we capable of playing better than we are? Yes, we are. That's where my initial frustration actually comes from. Because if you're not going to have the quality in the day, have the desire. Have the application. Have the knowledge. Try. You know, don't just let City walk about and walk the ball into the back of the net. It was so easy for them. They didn't get out of second gear, first gear. They really, because they didn't have to. You know, so I'm not having that just because there's loads of injuries, we're just going to have a pass for the shit that we're seeing, because it's just not good enough. And the decisions that Eric's making, they don't make sense, a lot of them. You know, we don't have any direction. When we are winning games, we're not in control of the games. We're winning by moments. I don't see anything different from Manchester United of yesteryear, under Ollie, under even Ten Hag last year, when I was excited saying we're going in the right direction. When you think about it, we're just waiting for moments. We're waiting for quick transitions, waiting for counter-attacks, you know? And I'm looking at the individuals and I'm looking at the players, and I'm like, the players that he's brought in, how good are these guys? And after every single half-time whistle that goes, we're seeing a player have to enter the fray. That's the manager undoing what he's put out there, because he's saying it's not working. What have you worked on in preparation for the game if the fact that you have to undo it every single time at half-time? It's just not good enough. And we've gone from the players that have been ridiculed the most and laughed at the most, right? And I'm talking about a Harry Maguire. I'm talking about a Johnny Evans, who, massive respect to him. But let's be honest, Johnny Evans shouldn't be at Man United in 2023 if Man United are operating like a proper football club. Those are the players that are playing all right. Those are the players who are giving a good account of themselves. And respect to those players. Victor Lindelof, what's he doing? Diogo Dalot, what's he doing? Bruno Fernandes, what's he doing? Marcus Rashford, what's he doing? Christian Eriksen, he's trying here and there. Scott McTominay, what's he doing? Højlund's getting service. Does need to be a little bit more clinical, but sorry, not getting that much service. Anthony, been pants since he's come back. Rubbish. Mason Mount, you brought him in, main guy, supposed to be the main guy. These are the type of technical players you're supposed to have involved. These are the type of technical players or good players that are going to change the way that we play, not starting the game. Come on at half time, no impact. Like, nothing's working. And these are things that are on Ten Hag's watch. It can't all just be, right? And I know this is the biggest root cause, which is the Glazers. But not every day we lose a game, just talk about the Glazers and talk about this, that and the other. Ten Hag has spent a lot of money. And these signings haven't made us any better as it stands, right? And the players that we've got that we were saying have improved are not improving the team right now. We're in a bad moment. Our confidence is down. I understand that. Big up, brother. We were in a bad moment. I understand that. We've got injuries. I understand that. We played against the world's best team. I understand that. And I can take that all into consideration. I can. You know me. I'm one of the most reasonable, calmest people, right? But you have to call out what you're seeing. And if Eric doesn't start stripping back to basics and saying, you know what, all of this trying to play out from the back and the identity. The only thing I know that what we're going to do in terms of identity is from a goal kick, where Johnny Evans is going to place the ball down, tell Harry Maguire to move out a little bit, and he's going to pass it to Onana. That's it. That's the only piece of identity that we have. Too many players are stinking out the joint and they're not being reprimanded. And the problem that is with this is, and I do back Eric Ten Hag, and especially with the way he dealt with the Sancho situation, to go with the manager. However, like people have said, Sancho's probably sitting there laughing, saying, look, there's nothing. There's no soul in the team. There's no spirit in the team. There's no fight. There's no passion. There's no desire. There's nothing. And there's also no quality. There's no quality whatsoever. So if Ten Hag doesn't make big changes for the up-and-coming games, i.e. getting rid of his favourites, getting rid of the guys that he's put his hat on, things are going to change for him rapidly, and he's going to be in big trouble. I can see it. I can feel it. We're going nowhere fast. And you don't want to overreact over one game that essentially we thought we'd lose. The whole world thought we'd lose today, including most of our own fans. That's not why I'm angry. I'm not angry just because it's City. And I'm not angry because why didn't we beat City? That's not why I'm angry. I'm angry at the attitude of the players, excuse me, the attention span or lack of from the players, and the desire. And then I'm angry at the decisions that the manager's making to try and spark a reaction. They're wrong. So listen, we got Newcastle on Wednesday night. God knows how that's going to go. Again, play like how we've been playing. They'll wipe the floor with us. It's not going to get any easier. Champions League qualification, still a glimmer of hope of that. But again, not with how we're playing. So all in all, a result that we expected, especially with the team that we saw. However, they don't get a free pass, and neither does the manager with the manner of the defeat. That's what I'm most annoyed about, the way we lost. Roll on Wednesday night. Take care. KG, quick player ratings.